Hey everyone. First off, I'm sorry for the current setup right now. Throughout the majority of the day of today, I've just been having issues with my internet at the moment, and my router is right there. And I think it's because Spectrum basically had lost some nodes during a severe storm that we've had for the last 3 days, and now we're just now suffering from the lag of it. So I have to be within the same room of my router in order to get some decent signal because I wanted to talk about something, and I was waiting to do this until like the next morning is when it's fresh in my mind. But a lot of events, like there's a lot of things that have developed over the last 10 minutes of my life where um, is that I really want to talk about. And that has to do with this month of June, which we all know is called Pride Month. And truth be honest, I have nothing against people who are LGBT. Okay, um, their lifestyle choices are their own, and but I truly believe that that kind of stuff should be kept private to themselves because I don't go around talking about my sexual encounters or express my sexuality. I usually keep that to myself because it is a private matter. But the thing is like for the last like 10, 10 for the last decade that we've experienced this since the whole political sphere in the country decided to explode. Um, Pride Month has brought out the worst of people, especially not just for LGBT people, but for also people who may not identify as LGBT, but they support them. And one of the examples I wanted to talk about was a certain individual who I think you've seen their her work throughout all of your favorite cartoon shows, and that is the lovely and beautiful and talented voice actress Gray Delisle. I think that's how I pronounce her name, and if that's not how her last name is pronounced, I truly apologize. Okay, but right now I can't really uh, help myself to search and research this. I'm just going off the cuff here. So she decided to, as of today, make a comment on X. I almost said Twitter right there. Made a comment on X that I think was kind of questionable. And that comment is this: not to sound biased, but LGBTQIA plus folks are just kind of better. I now imagine my issue with this particular quote is that switch LGBTQIA plus with straight or heterosexual, and she would sound homophobic or transphobic or be called a bigot. Now, I have been following her on Twitter for a little bit over a month, and the reason being is because I just recently decided to get on X so I can follow a lot of my other favorite content creators that I follow and maybe get some of my stuff out there to help. But I simply said into a quote, I said, interesting. In what way? And of course, she replied very quickly with all of the ways. Which, nice try at a dodge, but I think she understood what I meant when I said in what ways. Because when you do stuff like this, it it really doesn't bode well with how people are perceiving this. Okay, if you could say like, oh, they're better at being courteous or being nice about it. Like that's the other people have been commenting on my commenting to this and saying, "Oh, they're more likely they're not likely to be dickish than others." And I have my comments here. Here we go. So if this ever loads, but this is the comment thread I was part of. Whoops. Sorry, I'm kind of new to this. But I doubt she even has my comment on here. But I said, interesting, in what way? In fact, let me go back. And this person said, in the way that they usually are not going to act like a dick. And I responded with, interesting. I've witnessed LGBT people act more dickish than others, especially during Pride Month. All right? Because, again, like I said, Pride Month tends to bring the worst out of people, both LGBT and non-LGBT, but supporting LGBT, because the last 10 years have demonstrated that people will take advantage of situations and try to spin it to make it seem like they're the victims, and like anyone who that disagrees with them has to be not ridiculed, but sought out and destroyed completely, because how dare they have a difference in opinion than me. And that's all I've commented on that thread. Okay? That's all I did. Okay? I wasn't mean. I wasn't demeaning. I'm just saying that, that's not entirely true, because I can name several occasions that not on just social media, but in society, where people have decided to take advantage of Pride Month to call anyone who politically disagrees with them, even in a civilized manner, like I did, saying that I'm a homophobe or a transphobe or I'm a bigot in some way. And I didn't say that. I said, and I was basically pointing out, saying, like, better in what way? Because I guarantee you that I'm heterosexual. I've been heterosexual my entire life. I'm a guy. I am a biological male who likes biological females. And that is my choice. All right? But I'm pretty sure that in today's youth, LGBT youth, if they're working at a company and they're working into like accounting, for example, and they're having issues with the computers where the computer is running slow, or their emails are not opening, or they can't find an email, or some of the emails are disappeared. And I work in IT, and they call IT, and I help them, and I help solve the problem. I'm not superior or better than them at IT because I am straight and they're not. I am better at IT than them because I have a vast range of knowledge and experience in IT. So to say that you are better, I'd like to know better at what specifically. Because, again, you switch LGBTQIA plus with straight, she would sound homophobic. Now, I really wanted to talk about this because I made that comment. And by the way, you guys can comment on this and see where I did wrong, but I made that comment and she blocked me. I said nothing inappropriate or insulting. I'm just pointing out the fact that I was pointing out that you people live in a bubble. You have no earthly idea what actually happens outside of the fantasy world you work in. Now, I'm not going to get all teary-eyed and have my world crushed because Gray DeLisle decided to block me. I'm just kind of concerned and kind of not flabbergasted, but taken aback that out of all the comments she received, that I'm pretty sure she has gotten worse comments than I do, that I have said. And she singles me out in this particular because I didn't say, oh, happy Pride Month, everyone. Even though I have huge reservations on how society tends to sort of decides to look past the atrocities that some of the LGBT youth are doing today and what they're doing to other people, not just in the way of, like, not spreading their message, but basically trying to oppress others by trying to act as they're oppressed. But it astonishes me. All right? Now, I am a fan of her work. I followed her because I'm a fan. All right? I just joined X about back in March because I wanted to know what my favorite content creators, both in YouTube and entertainment, are currently doing. And I didn't say anything horrendous. That, again, the things I made 2 comments on that post. One was to her, and another one was to someone else who commented on my comment to her post. And that's all I did. I didn't engage any further, and quite honestly, I can't because, again, I'm blocked. But it breaks my heart that I truly believe that she's saying this and she did that due to social pressure because she doesn't want to seem like she is favoring certain people, even though this is what she's doing when she says this. But I'm still a fan. I like her work. In fact, I truly believe, again, I've known her work in a lot of other entertainment and shows and movies that I've seen her play in, and in fact, some of the characters she plays are my favorites. And I think that I'm thinking that if there's any sort of Nickelodeon shows that have decided to either get sequel series or revivals, where she plays some, if not most of the characters, most of the recognizable characters, and that she comes back and voices them because I think she still has talent. I just think that, again, this is why I think Pride Month is kind of the worst kind of American holiday we can have because it just brings the worst out of people on a political sense, okay? We shouldn't have to, we know people of a certain sexual orientation exist. We don't need to be reminded of that, okay? My philosophy is I will see you as a fellow human being. That is my philosophy. I will treat you as a fellow human being until you do something, you either say something or act in an action that makes me think otherwise. All right? And it usually has to be something on the extreme side. Like if I see a LGBTQ person, I don't know how you can know that unless they have a sign pin on them, and they walk by in the street, and I say hello, okay, and they say hello back. That's it. I don't think any less of them. I'm like, okay, interacting with my fellow human being. But if I say hello and they say, I'm gonna freaking kill you, you piece of shit, then that's where my respect for that person goes away. Again, you can call me a jerk, but I'm like, we are all human beings. We are not, some of us are better at things than others. Okay? But to say that we are just better, that someone of a certain ethnic or sexual background is just better in all the ways, causes more division and harm and destruction than you can ever believe. We are all human beings. We have our flaws. And I think that all human beings, despite these flaws, have the potential to rise to the occasion and achieve something better for them that's not related to their sexual orientation. Okay? I don't care if you're gay. If you are a brilliant engineer who can create technology that could help colonize, like Mars, for example, and turn Mars into Earth 2.0, like they did in Total Recall, then all power to you. Or if you have advanced knowledge in medicine and you create a medical procedure or vaccine or antidote that destroys all forms of cancer, no matter all cancer, then good. But your sexual orientation in the long-term run has no value on the evolution of society. Your sexual orientation should have value only to you. And that should all that matters to you. You should not care if I do not like you because you're gay. The only person who can make you feel comfortable and accepting of yourself for you being gay is yourself, ultimately. You don't need validation from me or anyone else. That's the message I want to relay here. And I want to say it in this manner because I think it is the best way to tell it. You see my face, and I'm not going on a script. This is off the cuff. These are my words. Okay? I don't care if you're gay. I will treat you with the respect of a human being as we all deserve to be. All right? We breathe the same air. We sort of eat the same food. And we are all destined to die at some point. I have flaws I have many flaws. Okay? Some of the flaws are things that are completely out of my control, and it's just things I have to work with in order to get by, and I can rise to the occasion despite of that. And I have flaws that I can absolutely fix, but it's up to myself to correct them. All right? All I'm saying is that don't try to see Pride Month as an opportunity to try to cause more division, like, for example, what Miss Delisle has done. Okay? I'm not putting her on blast. I'm just using her as an example as why I think Pride Month is the worst thing to happen to this country, because it just causes more division and scorn towards others because of the kind of comments, like the comment she made. All right? Like I said, I'm pretty sure that in today's use that a lot of LGBT youths don't have the basic technological knowledge to run troubleshooting for their computer system. Hence, they have to call people like me. And again, I'm not superior to you because I am straight. It's just that in this instance, I am better than you at IT because I have a wide range of knowledge and experience. All right? And it just breaks my heart that I want to engage in healthy conversation. You can have your opinion. You have the right to do that, but I have the right to question the logic behind your opinion because that's how a conversation works. The kind of stuff that I say is the kind of stuff I would gladly say politely and calmly and in a civilized manner to your face if we were looking at each other face to face in the same room within the same facility, okay? I can take criticism, but don't try to throw me out of your life or through your news or through your updates because I don't agree with you. And Miss Delisle, I don't know if you will watch this video at any time, but the thing is that I think you're great despite this effort. But you have to understand it. What you have to really understand is that everyone has to be careful about what they say, especially you, because you yourself, unfortunately, in your predicament, you are held to a much higher standard. Okay? People know how damaging politics can be. They always know how damaging it can be, especially when it's done by people who have sort of no knowledge about politics. And I can understand if you said it because you just want to be that kind of person who accepts others. I'm totally fine with that. But you have to understand is that if all Miss Delisle said was Happy Pride Month, everyone, I'd be like, okay, just move on. Nothing special there. It's the same thing if you just said like Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Mother's Day or something like that. I just engaged in 2 comments. That's it. I remain cordial. I remain factual. And not just in my personal experience, but in the experience that everyone who, and not just on the conservative stage, but in the moderate and in the center-left leaning people who have seen how left-leaning LGBT activists have acted in the last 10 years when it comes to Pride and Pride Month. It breaks my heart. And I think just blocking someone because of this is very cowardly, because you're essentially plugging your fingers into your ears and just saying and just hoping that they go away and leave you alone forever. So, my consensus is this. Okay? I personally have nothing against Miss Delisle. I'm saddened that this interaction, this 1-minute interaction I've had with her, and she responded back to me with in the respectful manner, and I thought it was, even though that it just confused me even more, but I was still willing to engage because I thought it was interesting that she blocked me. And because of that, I'm probably, unless Elon decides to make an executive decision to essentially say the block button will be removed, you will no longer be allowed to block people, then I'm never going to see any updates. All because the people who were in this comment section, decided to put fuel. Again, I wanted to engage it even further. Because I wanted to really know what she meant by that, because I was hoping she didn't mean what I think she meant. Because again, as a fan, I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't want her to go down the route of Mark Hamill, where everyone loved Mark Hamill because of Star Wars and Batman and all the other stuff he's done, and then to see him become a left-leaning hack and derogatory person who just craps on everyone who doesn't agree with the left, and who basically becomes a puppet for the Democrats because of it. Because it's like, it's disheartening. Because again, politics, whether it's Republican or Democrat, ruins everything. All right. So I'm not going to lose sleep over this. I'm not. I just really hope that that blocking people doesn't help. Okay? Because it becomes too easy and too comfortable for you to do it. All right? I want to convey my feelings that I have no ill will towards people who support Pride Month. All right? Again, if all Miss Delisle said was Happy Pride Month, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But again, it's when people take that a step further is when you have to question it. Okay? And I think you should question certain things if something doesn't smell right. It just saddens me that this is what it's come to. All right? That I think this is a topic that she's not really comfortable with. And I pray that we can look past this and continue engaging with each other in civilized manners with everyone, and that this doesn't cause more division. That's really all I want to say about Pride Month, and this is probably the only time I'll talk about Pride Month throughout the entirety of the month until bigger things happen. The truth of the matter is, guys, your sexuality doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. What you contribute to society, whether it's skills, talents, or knowledge, is what truly matters in the end, because that is going to be shared, it's going to be celebrated, and it's going to revolutionize the human race. So I am going to put this video on my Twitter account, my X account, so that people can see more of it and can engage with it as well. My philosophy is, let's engage in a civilized manner where we can both talk about stuff, we can question it, we can dive in further without the fear of our lives being ruined. All right? So guys, that's what I want to do. It's pretty late in the day, and I really want to go to bed because this is all just really not depressing me, but it saddens me. To be perfectly honest, I'm not on X the whole time. Usually I'm just on X to follow other people who are actively engaging, who don't block, but I hope that, I really do hope that the block button goes away. I'm pretty sure I don't like the idea of people harassing other people, but the block button has become people have become too comfortable with it that they can just block anyone. And I think if someone is actually engaging in harassment, then they should be reported. Because even if they can't do it to you, they can still do it to other people. So guys, that's all I really want to talk about. I really want to get my thoughts around this, and I want to be as civil as possible, because I think the whole idea is that this is not about sexual orientation or accepting for who you are. This is about people wanting to take control, have dominance over others, and use it as a tool to temporarily gain dominance over others and hide behind a message where everyone pretty much knows what the real message is. And all I really want is for people to just respect each other as human beings, understand that we have flaws, but we can still rise to the occasion and become better. And I really do hope that this doesn't cause more division. And I invite anyone who wants to engage in a conversation. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end the video here. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like the video. Please leave a comment down in this video if you want to engage in conversation again. Share the video, because I would like this message to go out to everyone, as I think it is very important. And also, guys, subscribe to the channel for more of this type of content and other content as well, as I think we should all be able to enjoy the stuff that brings us joy, true joy, harmless fun, so that we can just forget about the nasty things that are happening in life and just enjoy each other's company. And with that said, guys, I will leave all of you and see y'all in the next video. Hopefully in a much better environment, in a much better situation.